Hello everybody! Today, we're going to lead you through some full body general conditioning and mobility exercises. We'll start with a cardio warm-up, roll out the joints and mobilize our bodies. Then, we'll teach you some basic bodyweight conditioning exercises that you can do anywhere. Lastly, we'll cool down and do a bit of self-care. All you need is a little space and a chair, bench, or box if you have one. This video is intended to increase your exercise vocabulary. You can mix and match and organize your workout however you want. We do recommend that you always start with a warm-up and some mobilizations, then end with a cool down. You can check out our other videos of recommended circuits if you're looking for more direction. Let's get going! To do a burpee, jump as high as you can, bringing your arms up and reaching towards the ceiling. Squat and place your hands on the ground. Jump your feet back to a plank, then reverse. Jump your feet to your hands, stand, and start again. Make sure to go at your own pace. It's important to move through the exercises correctly rather than fast. Let's do that 10 times. This is a good movement to get your heart rate up and prep you for exercise. Frog jumps look like this. Stand with your feet parallel and hip width apart. Send your hips back and touch the ground. Push off with your legs and feet and jump as high as you can. Try to land without making a sound. Let's do that 10 times. This exercise will strengthen your glutes and quads and increase your jump height. Stand with your feet parallel and hip distance apart. Lengthen your neck by lifting the top of your head towards the ceiling, then tilt it to one side. Place the same side hand on the top of your head. You shouldn't have to push to feel a stretch. The weight of your hand is enough. If you want a deeper stretch, reach your opposite hand towards the ground with the palm facing out. You can nod your head up and down to change where the sensation is in your neck. You may feel this movement all the way through your fingers. Let's repeat on the other side. Let's warm up the wrists and hands. Put your arms in front of you with your palms forward. Curl your hands through your fingertips until they're squeezed and pointing down. Then reverse. Try to articulate through every joint. Repeat 5 times. Clasp your hands together and make circular movements with your wrists, 5 times in each direction. Roll your shoulders 5 times in each direction. Try to move slowly and controlled and keep your pelvis and ribcage stable. Stand with your feet together and roll down to a hang. Walk your hands out to downward dog and push your shoulders open. Move through plank to cobra. Reverse the movement. Stand with your feet parallel and hip distance apart. Keeping your knees angled directly above your ankles the whole time, send your hips back and squat down. Keep your chest up and your back straight for as long as possible. Go down to your max range of motion, but make sure your knees are tracking over your ankles rather than out to the side or rolled in. If you notice there's some side-to-side instability in your knees, try squatting just to 90 degrees. If your knees are going far forward past your ankles, make sure you are sending your hips back when instigating the movement. Let's repeat that 10 times. Squats are a fundamental movement that will strengthen your glutes and quads. Every time you sit down or stand up, you squat, so it's important to keep this movement maintained. Stand with your feet together and lift your heels off the ground 25 times. Try to keep your ankles squeezed together and your feet parallel. Heel raises will strengthen your calf and stabilize the ankle joints. Start on hands and knees and bring one leg up behind you at a 90-degree angle with your foot flexed. Keep your tummy and hips engaged and stable as you press your foot up towards the ceiling. Repeat 12 times on both sides. This will engage your glutes and hamstrings. It is a great exercise to do if you have been sitting a lot. Lay on your back with your knees up, hip distance apart, and feet parallel. Brace your tummy and send your hips to the sky, keeping your knees stable. If you are noticing side-to-side instability in your knees, place something between them like a small beach ball or pile of clothes and squeeze your inner thighs as you lift. Let's repeat this 20 times. This exercise will strengthen your glutes, hamstrings, and lower abs. Start in a plank position with your pelvis tipped back and tummy pulled up towards your spine. Make sure you are pushing up through your rib cage. Then, lower onto one forearm at a time, making sure to alternate which one goes down first. If your hips are wiggling side to side, engage your tummy and stabilize your pelvis to stop the side-to-side motion. Your hips should barely move. Repeat 5 times on each side. This exercise will increase the stability of your plank during movement and will improve whole body engagement. Begin in a plank position with your hands on a stable chair, bench, or box. Make sure your shoulders are lined up above your wrists, your stomach is lifted, and you are pushing up through your rib cage. Bend your elbows towards your sides to bring your chest down. If you are already comfortable with push-ups, you can do them with your hands on the ground, but make sure your form stays good through all the reps. If you are having a hard time keeping your elbows in or pushing back up, just scale your movement down a little. Find an angle that feels like work but is doable. I promise you'll be able to do push-ups if you keep trying. Repeat 10 times. Push-ups strengthen your pecs and triceps and improve your pushing strength. Lay on your tummy and put your hands next to your chest. Brace your tummy and push your hips towards the ground. With your elbows squeezed in towards your sides, push your chest and belly off the ground. If your hips are coming off the ground a lot, or the movement is hurting your low back, try moving your hands forward a little bit. Let's repeat this 10 times. This exercise will strengthen your triceps and spinal extensors. If you are doing it correctly, you should feel most of the work in your arms. With your hands on a chair, bench, or box, walk your feet out in front of you. Keep your elbows pulled in towards your sides as you bend your arms to a 90-degree angle. If you are struggling to push back up, scale back a little by bending your elbows less. Find an angle that feels like work but is doable. Repeat 10 times. Dips will strengthen your anterior deltoids and triceps. Come into a plank with your forearms on the ground and parallel. You're probably going to have to keep pushing through your rib cage and pulling your elbows in to keep your hands from sliding together. If you are struggling with this, you can put a yoga block or other rectangular object between your hands. Make sure you are lifting your stomach and rounding your pelvis. Try not to let your tummy sink towards the ground. You can hold this position for 30 seconds and work your way up to a minute. This is a good exercise for static endurance and general core strength. Come into a side plank position with one forearm on the ground and your arm pointing away from your body. If you are having a hard time balancing, try staggering your feet one in front of the other. Make sure you are really lifting your side up and making one straight line with your body by keeping your hips pushed forward. Hold for 30 seconds to a minute. Then, repeat on the other side. Side planks strengthen and stabilize oblique abdominal muscles. In your side plank position, lower your hips to the floor and then back up 10 times. Make sure you are bracing your tummy and keeping your hips pushed forward. Repeat on both sides. Lay on your back and bring your legs up with your knees straight. Push your back into the ground so that no air can go under it. Lift your head, chest, and arms off the ground and look at your belly button. Make sure you are pulling your tummy in towards the ground to brace your core. Lower your legs as far as they'll go without your back coming off the ground at all. If your back starts to come off the ground, lift your legs higher until you can get it flat again. To make the hold more difficult, bring your arms up and place your hands behind your head or arms straight. To make the movement easier, bend one knee up towards your chest. Don't forget to switch sides though. This is what it looks like if your back is coming off the ground. It's alright if your legs have to be all the way up at first to keep your back on the ground. As you get stronger, your legs will get lower. Hold for 30 seconds and then build up to a minute. This exercise will strengthen your abdominal muscles and increase your static endurance. Lay in your tummy with your arms straight forward above your head. Using the muscles in your back, lift your legs and chest off the ground and hold. If you are having a hard time keeping your arms off the ground because of mobility or strength, you can try bringing your arms to 90-degree angles. Try not to compensate by putting your hands behind your back. They should be stretched overhead or to the side. Hold for 30 seconds and build up to a minute. Arch body holds are a great exercise for strengthening the muscles of your back. Lay on your tummy and brace your core by lifting your tummy and pushing your hips down. Lift the opposite arm and leg together at the same time. Think about extending your limbs away from your body rather than simply squeezing to lift. Repeat 10 times on each side. This exercise engages important stabilizing muscles that are often underused in daily life. Lay on your back and lift your legs up with your knees straight. Push your back into the ground and lift your head, chest, and arms. Lower your legs almost to the ground but not touching. If your back is coming off the ground, only lower to the point where you can keep it flat. You can also put your hands behind your head. If this is feeling too hard, try putting your head and chest down, but make sure your back is still able to stay in full contact with the ground. If you are having trouble with your hollow body, this exercise will help. Sit with your legs straight in front of you, your feet pointed, and the backs of your knees pushing towards the ground. Reach up with straight arms. Your arms should be squeezed in towards your ears, hands shoulder width apart. Try to really stick out your butt and lift your chest. Bend forward at the waist, keeping your back straight for as long as you can, but rounding when you need to. It's okay if you can't touch your feet or put your face on your legs. There should be sensation and it might be uncomfortable, but you shouldn't be in pain. Now, lift your chest to straighten your back and pull your chest towards your feet to lengthen. Then, fold again, maybe a little farther. This exercise is a good way to warm up before working out or cool down after. It will lengthen your hamstrings, calves, and possibly the muscles around your spine as well. It may also increase mobility that will help you feel ease in everyday movements. Sit with both knees bent and one leg folded over the top of the other. Make sure that both butt cheeks are on the ground. Wrap the opposite arm around your knee. Pull your knee into your chest and lengthen your spine as you twist towards that knee. If your knees are hurting you, or if you're having a hard time keeping your butt on the ground, try keeping the bottom leg straight. This exercise mobilizes the deeper muscles underneath the glutes. It can prevent back and hip pain and is especially good if you are conditioning your butt and legs. Sit with both legs bent in front of you and place one foot right under the opposite knee and flex it. Push your hands into the ground to lift your butt up and gently pull your knee in towards your chest to deepen the movement. Similar to the pretzel, this exercise mobilizes the deeper muscles underneath the glutes. It can prevent back and hip pain and is especially good if you were conditioning your butt and legs. Lay face down on the floor. Place your arms out to the sides, making two 90-degree angles, one from the shoulders and one from the elbows. Take one leg and draw it back over the other. Bend the same side arm and push your palm into the ground to get more leverage and stretch the opposite side chest muscles. Breathe into the chest and open and close the ribs to explore your mobility. Then, repeat on the other side. Cactus mobilizes the pecs and serratus anterior. It can prevent shoulder pain and improve your posture. It is especially good if you are conditioning your arms and shoulders. All right, everybody, that's it for Bodyweight Conditioning. We hope you had some fun learning new exercises. Bodyweight Conditioning 2 will include some more advanced exercises, and you can check out our circuit videos for recommendations of how to put it all together. You can find other tutorials and more on our Patreon page and by subscribing to our YouTube channel, as well as on our website, popupmovement.com, and on Instagram and Facebook at popupmovement. See you soon!